And we are live. Welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. I'm your host, Kevin. And today, coming at you Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. Today is our Monday stream. So, start of the week, a lot of interesting stuff to dive into today. But first, if y'all don't mind giving me a quick mic check, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let me just wait for a second for the mic check before we proceed. And then, yeah, one sec. Just waiting for a mic check. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Does it sound good? I can turn it up or down for y'all as needed. Just waiting for someone to write in the chat or whatnot. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so today we are going to the main segment, the star of the show. We're going to talk about how no one knows when the top is in, and most people are just guessing. Sometimes they're lucky. And we're going to look at a lot of evidence and proof of this. Okay. So, point is, you got to be really careful when following influencers who are super confident of when the top is in. But also, we have a lot of other stuff to look at in the stream today. I'm going to leave timestamps afterwards for those watching the VOD. And then my goal, just real quick, is 100 likes on the stream. Let me see if we got that last time, by the way. Let's see. Our L2s ever. Yes, we got 100. We got 129 likes on the last stream. So if you could give me a like if you're watching this live, or if you're watching the VOD afterwards, a like would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so first live with me. Welcome. Hey Harley, hey Naveen, hey Andreas, hey Spud. Thank you all for joining me. Let us get started with a quick market pulse. You know how I always like to do these just to get us centered on where we are with the markets. Okay, so there's been a pullback in the past day. Ethereum has been dropping quite a bit. But like I said before, I'd rather it drop now than keep rocketing, getting super overheated without any correction, because that means the cycle probably ends sooner. But now this correction was really much needed, in my honest opinion. And I have some stable coins to deploy that I'm going to wait until the momentum indicators shift bullish again. Okay, so this hasn't shifted bullish yet at the 1 hour. Let's see the 4 hour mark. Has this momentum indicator, still no bullish print on this momentum indicator on ETH. I'm waiting to smash it into ETH when a bullish print happens again. Let's see the daily actually. Well, the daily's still been bullish, but I'm going to wait until confluence in the 4 hour and 1 hour charts. I want to see a bullish print in those. Okay, let's see. Quick market pulse. Sorry, let's go to this market overview section. Fear and greed, neutral, not surprised. Still closer to Bitcoin season. Altcoin season index at 41. ETFs had a negative day. We had a negative day at August 14th. Interesting. After several positive days, we had a negative day. That's something to keep an eye on. Let's look at some more charts without these indicators. BTC dominance. Oh, this is the 1 hour. Whoops. Let us go to the 1 day. Meanwhile, this is still looking like it wants to drop further. This BTC dominance, which is better for potentially alt season to continue after this correction is over. Let's take a look at DXY. Yeah, DXY is still indecisive. It's still weak, which is good for risk assets. Total 3 divided by ETH. Little bounce for altcoins versus ETH, but this looks like it wants to go further. So I will be keeping an eye on that. I will be heavy ETH instead of alts until this truly reverses, or at least has some indicators print, some momentum indicators print. Oh, there was okay, it's still a sell right now. Let's see the 4 hour. Okay, it doesn't want to give me that without upgrading. Okay, let's take a look at some comments real quick. I think you should wait, and if this correction continues, then DCA into it or smash some into it. If this correction continues. Okay, folks, we're still at the market pulse. We still have a few more things to check out real quick. This is the ETF stuff I was mentioning. We had a tiny negative day on 8/5 this Friday right here. Let's see the ETH ETFs. ETH ETFs. Yeah, we had a negative day, kind of tiny. We had a lot of positive, huge positive inflow days. Honestly, with these correction days, there's not really even a point to look at this. Nothing's overheated. And liquidation heat map. It looks like Bitcoin wants to go either down here to liquidate these longs or here to liquidate the shorts. It's climbing up, but this is a pretty tight range, 114 to 116. Not too much levered longs or levered shorts above or below to really go hunting for. Okay. Oh, another Kevin. Hello, hello. Okay, a big beautiful news today. I like to do a news segment every day. This you guys might not have known, but Monero, the OG privacy coin, was a victim to a 51% attack from another crypto community. Here. Monero is a proof of work mining coin, okay? And it's the OG privacy coin. But another community used some incentive program to get more than 51% of their hash rate, which gives them the ability to attack and reorg blocks, which is not good. B Monero, $6 billion privacy coin, thought to be untouchable. Cubic shows up. I'm actually a hater of Cubic because its founder was an IOTA founder, which was my worst coin ever in past cycles. One that I believed in, but failed to deliver on every front. Anyhow, Cubic shows up. That's his project. Starts mining XMR. Nobody pays attention. Offers miners better rewards than anyone else. Hash rate floodgates open. Cross 51% hash rate. Gains full control of the network. Effectively, only Cubic mining now can rewrite history, can double spend, can censor transactions. Full control for 100K a day. XMR price goes down 7%. Cubic pauses. We chose not to take over yet. The era of too big to attack is over. And this is the chart of Monero dropping because of the 51% attack. So that's quite interesting. Cubic just reached 51%. This is a huge feat. Making themselves the only mining entity of Monero. You can only mine Monero through them. They're 3x more profitable. They're giving half of the profit to miners and selling the other half to buy Cubic and send it to the burn wallet. By the way, I would never touch Cubic. I don't really care what anyone says. I would never touch it out of principle because I don't like the founder and his past with IOTA. Anyhow, this is still interesting to look at, though. This is history being made here. Cubic, less than $300 million market cap, was the sole miner of a $6 billion market cap coin. So it's like a parasitic mining attack. And this is the cubic.org pool. They have 52%. This may be outdated. Let's see what it is now. Cubic.org pool stats. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Yeah, I would never touch this. IOTA, I'm not a fan of this guy. Okay. So they have something called U proof of work, and they use AI miners that leverage AI models to solve complex training tasks instead of the mathematical puzzles found in Bitcoin. Oh, it's AI training as proof of work. It's called useful proof of work, I believe. They got 2% of the network hash rate. By June, it reached nearly 10%, and then 30%, and now over 50%. So they've been really killing it with their Monero mining hash rate. Yeah, so this is quite interesting. Here's more about their useful proof of work. It solves problems and they earn reward through smart contract executions, AI research training, etc., etc. But now they're mining Monero for attention, I guess. And now they have voted on targeting Dogecoin next. So that may be interesting to see. That would be kind of crazy if they're able to attack Dogecoin mining. That would be interesting to see. I think people would get really mad at them if that were to happen. But let me know what y'all think about this. But anyhow, that is the big beautiful news segment. There is something else I want to shout out real quick. I think it's an interesting AI agents project with some big news. So, okay, one sec. Let me change the caption. And don't forget, guys, the main segment of today is no one knows when the top is in. We're going to look at some proof and cover that, of course. But real quick, first, I want to shout out real quick this AI agents project that has some really interesting news and different approach. Let me make this bigger. So, in like ChatGPT and other AI models, they're like doing huge models, like massive training, massive data sets. But Coral Protocol, they did a performance test using like a major benchmark, and they outperformed one of Microsoft's models by a huge percentage. Not by building a larger model, but by orchestrating multiple smaller ones. They call it horizontal scaling. So this Gaia benchmark is one of the most rigorous tests in AI. And Coral beat out a lot of other models, like Microsoft's one, using their mini Instead of building a single large model, they use multiple smaller agents in a coordinated system to achieve more with less. So, what is Core Protocol, right? It's an open source infrastructure that kind of coordinates AI agents. It's the Internet of Agents. Here's their website if you want to check it out, coralprotocol.org. It's, Internet of Agents. You can check it out. But the news is that their multi-agent framework is like different than centralizing intelligence and a monolithic LLM, which is what most big companies do these days, right? And NVIDIA said that their thesis is that small models are the future in a recent white paper. So that is what this Coral Protocol is working on. Open mini models can outperform corporate-backed AI infrastructure, and AI developers can work with this even with constrained resources. Yeah, so they've shifted the scale and scaling narrative, scales by distribution, not just volume. And developers can also plug in and work with Coral Protocol today. So that's pretty cool to see. Definitely check out this news further and check out their website. I believe I left a link to this Hacker Noon article below. But anyways, I think that's pretty cool to see because we all use AI, but it's really like a frontier technology, right? So we don't know what the right approach is in many of these models in the future in terms of horizontal scaling versus like vertical scaling. But anyhow, let me move on to the next part, the main star of the show. No one knows when the top is in, and there's a lot of stuff I want to look at with y'all today. Let me open it up. But BitTensor, it's kind of like it's not exactly like it, because their subnets can do anything. It's like flexible. It's not always AI training. I believe if my memory doesn't fail me, I believe in the past, it wasn't training. It was like crunching models and answering people's AI like queries per se. A little bit different. But anyhow, no one knows when the top is in. Let's check this out. The main segment of today's show. So check this out. I went back to see what your favorite CT accounts were posting at the peak of the 2021 bull market. The takes aged like milk and a few like fine wine. Supposedly, Ansem posted that if the market does a nuke soon, my trading intuition is broken near the top. Honestly, I think Ansem is okay as an analyst. Not the best, but not bad. But some people get lucky, right? CZ said, "Don't worry about competition." FTX got wiped out a year later, so he was wrong about that. Let's see. Kobe says something about his butler's butler at the top. Beeple said F at the top. Okay. Gainsey, another big account, got it very wrong. He said that was a very rough BTC 8% drop, made him momentarily uncomfy. Fair to say we deserve a bounce to 100K for this mild inconvenience. And it wasn't 100K, as the narrator knows. Let's see what else. Kaleo, who's gotten a lot of stuff wrong lately, as we've seen in our KOL call tracker, I wouldn't follow anything Kaleo says. It's over for the Bears. Clean retest. Plenty of noise around all-time high breakout as expected. I like it. Just keep stacking. He said that at the very top. Udi said, stop selling your coins. And everyone kept selling. Michael Saylor, bull posting doesn't matter. He's always buying no matter when. Easy Eats Bodega says ETH 6942. It's programmed. ETH dropped a lot afterwards. Trader Main, who's pretty good, but he said still in a bull market. And then it dropped so much afterwards. It was the top. So point is, reminder from 2021, the timeline at all-time highs looks insane. Even the best couldn't sell the top, neither will you. Prepare accordingly. So you see, don't take any one influencer as gospel. Instead, have your own plan. Also, check this out. On the other hand, Bitcoin Data writes that a lot of KOLs are predicting around the same range for the top price. Everyone is fixated on a specific range and around the same time, right? Look, I wonder if many of the large accounts on X realize they all have the same targets in terms of price and time. We humans can't even agree on stuff, but yet we've all figured it out and we're all going to sell the top. It's never this clean, guys. It's never, the consensus is almost 100%, almost always going to be wrong. Okay. So that actually should get you thinking. If everyone's saying the same things in terms of targets, it's likely not going to be right. Right? That we can agree on, right? The fact that consensus is almost never right. Coinbase is honestly, I like Coinbase, but I would fade anything that they write from like their institutional account trying to push alt season. I would fade that. Okay, but there's more to look at here. Bitcoin Data continues to make the contrarian case. For 2 years, people have been looking for reasons to call the cycle top. This isn't based on anything other than PTSD. When the top forms, it will be blindingly obvious to those who have remained calm and prepared. I don't know about that, but I do agree with him that there's a lot of PTSD in the predictions. Most will sell too early, then buy back and chase, hold the top, and then capitulate after the crash with weak returns. This is definitely true. This I agree with. You're going to sell, I can't say you, we may sell early, get FOMO, buy back and chase, hodl the top, and then capitulate. Got to have a plan, got to stay strong, got to have a group that will keep you level-headed like in Retail DAO. That's why you guys should join Retail DAO. Yeah, profits is always good for peace of mind. And then check this out. This is a long thread, but here is a super thread of a lot of different calls. He's curated 15 recent tweets from recent days that captures a mix of bearish, bullish, and data-driven analyses. So let's take a look at all of them. Okay, let's take a look at this one. 0 of 30 top indicators have hit. But like I said in the past, I don't think these are reliable. Yeah, I don't know if they're actually going to be reliable. Let's see this one. A sharp rebuke to narrative-driven predictions based on halving calendars or influencer hype. This cycle's extensions via institutional adoption makes past patterns less reliable. Focusing on fundamentals like ISM data could mean prolonged risk on, delaying any top. Interesting. Do you really think that market makers and global economic factors care about crypto cycle top timing? Huh? Yeah, but Jack with a gazillion followers on X said October and having plus X days always blah blah blah. Focus, people, focus. I think this actually makes kind of sense. I buy that a little, like market maker and global economic factors having a bigger influence than having plus X days. Like logically speaking, right? Let me know what you think, chat. Do you believe in having plus X days for the cycle top? Or do you think it's market makers plus global economic factors driving this cycle? And things like ISM data, and things like that, like business cycle data, you know? Let's see. The next one, bearish call on the cycle top. Let's see what they're saying here. Okay, well, growing caution amid volatility. You know what would absolutely wreck a lot of people? It would be if the cycle ends without alts mooning. I honestly think that would wreck a lot of people who wait and be like, alts haven't mooned yet. Top can't be in. Right? Right? What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't, guys? Would that throw you an absolute curveball? Food for thought. Okay, next one. If the Fed cuts rates, could accelerate a shorter cycle top via heightened anticipation and euphoria. Historical post-cut rallies were prolonged, not shortened, unless paired with recession signals, which aren't dominant yet. Let's see what this guy has to say. Faster, shorter run because rising cut probabilities into August and September. Very interesting. Okay, next one. Bank of Japan rate hikes, the yen carry trade unwinds. Current low leverage. Yeah, there is low leverage. We just looked at that today. Hikes are gradual. It can instead support a soft landing bull extension. If you believe in Besant's ability and Powell, what they're doing, maybe we could have a soft landing bull extension. Honestly, I give that maybe like a 30-40% chance. I'm more bearish on all this rate cut stuff given how the economy is looking, to be honest with you. But I'm no macro expert, as you guys know. Okay, bullish macro take. Improving indicators, reduced year-end top odds, favoring extended risk on. This aligns with super cycle theories, global easing prolongs bulls. Critically, crypto often lacks equities. If SPX peaks later, crypto could follow suit, but watch for divergences. Interesting. Let me see what chat is saying. For all we know, the top is already in. Every cycle top felt like there was more to come, and it feels like that right now too. Soft landing bull extension means that they can thread the needle and not cause like a big crash or like mess everything up with interest rate hikes and cause a recession, right? But anyhow, back to this super thread. Near term top with BTC resilience, but alts crash. Skeptical of super cycle hype. repeated from 2021. This third option fits if ETF flows prop BTC while alts suffer. Historically, BTC dominance spikes pre-tops. If it holds above 55%, alts could indeed underperform. Hybrid view. Interesting. How about, I heard of the super cycle narrative last cycle too. How about a third option? There's the crypto cycle top in a couple months, but Bitcoin slowly consolidates and slowly continues to go up while the rest of the crypto market crashes. This is interesting. This is interesting because, like we've said, Bitcoin has a different type of bid from institutions this cycle compared to altcoins, which most of them do not, right? So this could be something that happens and everyone who's waiting for an alt season gets wrecked, but Bitcoin continues to consolidate and grind up slowly. That is, I could see that potentially happening too. It's food for thought. Okay, another one is a precise bearish prediction for late October, kind of like Maverick, based on halving or seasonal patterns. October tops, but the cycle delays might push it out. Without supporting data, it's speculative. Monitor for alignment with Nupal peaking around then. Miles is teasing a video analysis where data counters top is in. Points out weak August seasonality, which often shakes people out before the real run starts. Okay. This tweet nails the macro structure with total 2 and 3 not yet at all-time highs. Calling a cycle top is premature. As full market participation, euphoria phase. Everyone's talking about this, but what if this doesn't come in the way we're expecting? Right? Maybe like New Frontier said, the top could be in already without this showing up. There is a cup and handle on total 3, though. Classic bullish setup combined with declining BTC dominance, as we saw earlier in the stream. This positions ourselves for an alt-led surge. Bearish bias here risks missing generational wealth. Focus on liquidity flows instead. Okay, let's see what this guy is saying. On TA, this cup and handle does look good, though. Does look good. I wouldn't rely on this wholly in and of itself, but it does look good. Okay, Alex presents an excellent breakdown of cycle phasing. BTC leads, ETH follows, alts explode last. ETH nearing all-time highs. It did have a big correction recently, though. This screams unfinished business. Historical parallels shows alts lagging. Rotation thesis is key. Okay. One of the most convincing data-backed rebuttals to top calls. Lack of extended alt season reinforces this. Okay, let's see. Pi cycle top indicator. We did have Google trend searches go up a bit. Don't you remember that from last week? Coinbase App Store, Z-Score, Fear and Greed, Puel Multiple, R Hodl. I just don't know if these are that reliable. You know? Like, why? Tell me why we need to see a true alt season for this cycle to end. Tell me why, guys. And convince me. This bullish long view aligns with logarithmic growth models. I hate these. I absolutely hate these. I don't think they work at all. It's just like overfitting the data. BTC power law trajectory points out tops in 20 no 2027 2028 more and even longer, a year and a half more. No way. Absolutely no way. Higher highs. This is gonna get people wrecked, isn't it? Oh, okay, okay. Well, okay, this could work. This is kind of saying like August, September, October top near 200K? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And then a big correction, down that much to like 40K or so? This is kind of this guy high. What the heck? Unless this chart isn't right, this guy's high. Okay. Almost done with this super thread. Bearish take targets the BTC top in 120, 140K. However, it overlooks broader catalysts like falling BTC dominance and ETH's momentum. If macro liquidity remains supportive, the top could be extended. Interesting. This guy's a bear. And then last one, psychological noise. A minor 5% correction sparks widespread panic and top calling, often driven by recency bias and fundamentals. Corrections are healthy in bull cycles. That is true. And historical data shows Bitcoin often experiences 20 to 30% pullbacks before resuming uptrends. This could signal we're still in mid-cycle volatility, not the end. 5% down, and my feed is full of top calls. Honestly, that is a good point. Like, if everyone's calling the top, it's more likely that the top is not in. CT leans bearish after a sharp 5% dip, but this feels like the usual round of panic rather than true macro trend shift. Washouts like this are common. I don't know about this, though. It could very well be a cycle where most people who are not Bitcoin or ETH or Sol maxis get wrecked, or hype maxis, some of the most successful ones so far. Guys, let me know if you agree or disagree with me that these cycle theorists who are like, you remember what I said earlier? It's like 152 weeks until the top after the halving. It's going to be the same. There's only 3 data points and we're expecting the same. I mean, okay, so their prediction lines up with what Maverick is saying, which could happen, which very well could happen. Don't get me wrong. But using like 3 data points from history, when this time there's a lot of different players in the market, like institutions, blah, 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 and they're expecting the same exact timing to happen. I think this is just stupid, right? Change my mind. I mean, could it happen this way? Yes, it's possible, but just expecting it to play out the same way as before. And look, these don't really even look that similar, to be honest with you. And also, people were caught off by the big rocket ship move leading up to the halving. So I remember this CryptoCon guy was really caught off by that move. So I don't really buy any. I'm not going to listen to this at all, to be honest with you. There could be other reasons why the market tops near then, but I'm not going to be looking at this at all. Colin Talks Crypto also thinks October. Everyone is thinking October. Maverick, are you going to be right? Everyone is saying October. And they're counting like X months from cycle bottom to cycle top. Counting numbers like this. Like, come on, guys, let's think logically and rationally. Why can we just count numbers from halving cycles and get it to work, right? Why? It's not the same as it was in 2027 or 2017 and 2021. It's not the same world. It's not the same market. It's not the same Bitcoin or ETH even. There's so many things that are different. in terms of just pure supply and demand dynamics. Why can we just count like this and expect it to work? Yes, please hit the like so we can get to 100 likes if you're watching live or after the fact. That would help me out immensely, folks. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah. Um so yeah, I think my conclusion after looking at all this is no one really knows when the top is in. Can we get lucky? Could it be September, October this year? Sure, it could. I'm not saying it can't, but I honestly don't buy those like count the number of months or weeks after the halving, and that's when the cycle top is in. And if you remember, Bitcoin data said all the KOLs are calling the same thing, right? They're all calling the same thing, like 130 to 150, maybe a little higher. And then September, October, November as the cycle top. Guys, when in history have all the KOLs been right like that? Remember, they even showed you this. Wait, let me pull that up again. I even showed you this, which a lot of people got things wrong near the top. Like who was it? Like Gainsey, and then Kaleo definitely got it wrong. He wrecked a lot of people there. And Easy Eats Bodega got things wrong. Trader Main, who I respect, got things wrong. Guys, they're all calling for 150 to 180 September, October, November. And you think they're going to get it right this time? Hell no. I don't care if you say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, it could, and I will likely take profits if it gets to those levels at that time. I will likely take good amount of profits. But I'm just going to warn y'all that have an open mind to something playing out differently than what the top accounts are saying on Crypto X, and even what I'm saying and what Mavericks are saying and what New Frontiers is saying, right? But speaking of which, I want to do some quick KOL call tracking, which is my favorite segment of the day. And don't forget, folks, all you need to do to get stuff listed on here is tag Retail DAO on X and be like, track this, please. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else to BTC to 150K? Let's see. Can we say this wrong? Well, technically, it's not September yet. So I'll give him a little more time. Okay, I'll give this one a little more time. BTC vertical soon. Just a matter of time. This was July. It's been almost 3 weeks and no vertical yet. This guy, the Scalping Pro, is going to get a wrong on that. Bullish on August. Okay, August is not over. This is not over. August ends bullish. Okay. Okay. Let's see what some people see. Thank you, Emily Watson, for tagging. Will screenshot and add to our tracker. Thank you. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take a screenshot. He is saying, what is Bob Lucas saying? BTC hoping for time will likely run out. Okay, so he's calling for a correction into... Wait, when is that? Let me see. Correction into September before new highs. August chop and correction into September. Okay. So what is he saying? Okay. August chop and lower in September. I'm gonna add that. Okay, Bob Lucas. What date is that? It's August 18th today. 2025. Whoops, I added it to the wrong field. BTC. Whoops, let me clear this. Chop in August, then down it's September. Deadline 9/30, 2025. TBD, BTC. Okay. Thank you for tagging Retail DAO. That's exactly what you need to do. Please track what Steven is saying. What is this? Ethereum won't see new all-time highs, but I don't really want to do this because it's a clip of like some TradFi guy. Let's see what else. Track him. Okay. Oh, we already tracked this. We already got Wiz saying that the top is in, I think. Yeah, we already got that right here. Okay, so we'll continue to add. Remember, all you guys need to do for adding to this sheet, and we will call them out in public too, or give them props if they get it right, is to tag Retail DAO. Let me see what else actually. One second. Let me just... Okay, I think that's all we're going to do for call tracking today, but all you guys need to do is tag us like people have been doing. Thank you guys so much, and we will add to this sheet. I love what we're building together on these streams live. Okay. Now I want to move on to the change my mind segment, which I have something really hot take today. Okay, let me just pull up something. Okay, where are my... Okay, right here. Hot take. Change my mind. Founders should be shamed for grifting and dumping on us. Yes, you should make a prediction on X. We will add you there. Change my mind. Okay, so what is this coming from, right? Did y'all see this? This Story Protocol founder is leaving Story Protocol right after his TGE or his tokens vested. Freaking grift. And Story Protocol doesn't even do anything. Look, the real product was the cliff all along. Aptos, Movement, I believe, Story Protocol, and I forget what she does, like Morpho, I think. Um, what is the bottom left? Morph, I think. They all got funding from like A16Z, Paradigm, etc., etc. What did they build? Who uses Movement, Morph, Story Protocol? Story Protocol had like $24 in revenue. No one uses it for their IP protocol thing, you know? And they just got the vesting cliff and they left right afterwards. Like, good riddance, but they should be publicly shamed, is my change my mind. And check out what some other people are saying here. One sec. View post engagements. Look, this is hilarious. Cheat sheet for the uninformed. Today is my last day, blah, blah, blah. I'm quitting because of massive fraud and looming legal actions. We are excited to announce our expansion to Island Nation. We are under investigation. We're excited to announce our expansion to the UK. We are under investigation. Decentralizing XYZ. Founders and investors are ready to dump their tokens on you. This is why people hate VC coins these days. And Hyperliquid did so well with zero VCs. Crypto VCs like A16Z or Paradigm aren't backing builders. They're funding a lot of effing grifters and dressing up shallow gimmicks as innovation. Generational exit. 130 million funding from VCs, Grayscale Trust, and Treasury Co. One of the best crime dub charts in history of crime. Less than 1% float. They have $45 in revenue. Look. Chain fees, chain revenue, $45. That's crazy. Honestly, insane how many of these tier 1 VC-backed companies have the same story. Co-founders, some prestigious background, sell VCs on pie-in-the-sky concept that no one wants, raises 100 million, have zero users, exit via OTC deals, step back right before vesting renews. They made $24 in revenue yesterday, etc., etc. Complete. Token launch equals job done. Screw these people. I really can't stand crypto when I see stories like this. Why are these people given a platform? Why did A16Z hand them tens of millions of dollars? He was super cocky, blah, blah, blah. Vesting cliff reached. I think you guys get the idea. This is quite embarrassing and they should get shamed, right? Change my mind. They should be publicly shamed. I never got excited about Story for that exact reason. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. Yeah, exactly. It's so okay. I wouldn't call them low lives, but but yeah, it's embarrassing for our space. Um, I want to talk about Retail DAO real quick. My retail investor megatrend video is coming out real soon. It's gonna be a transformative keynote type video, kind of like Murad's meme coin super cycle. And I hope it will be a huge hit. There's another thing I want to show y'all. Let's see. Um, one sec. Let me show y'all real quick. This is just a sneak peek. A sneak peek at the dashboard we're working on for Retail DAO Pro and VIP users. Okay, it says dang, this isn't pulling up right now. Okay, maybe I'm gonna look at it in a different way. One sec, one sec. Because I left some voice messages for the developer I'm working with. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Look, this is gonna be a beautiful dashboard with, okay, no, this is CoinGlass. This is our dashboard. It's gonna have our handpicked indicators and things like that. And I want to add some like ETF flows and things like that. It's gonna be great. The goal is to be useful and have y'all check it, like, be something that you would check a few times a week, not every day, not like check it multiple times a day, but something to keep you centered and get you a good idea of how the market context is, right? This is going to be for VIP and pro members of Retail DAO. So highly suggest you guys join, and link below to check that out. But yeah, folks, had a great stream with y'all today. Remember, my goal is 100 likes. If you could like to support me, that'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I do these Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. The next one is on Wednesday. Today, we kind of talked about how no one really knows when the top is in. So try not to take anyone's words as gospel. Have your own plan and stick to it and be confident in it. As nobody really knows, as we've shown, and the consensus is often wrong. Anyhow, I'm your host, Kevin. I had a great time with you today. I will see you all on Wednesday, and cheers.